What's up, everybody? Rustin Muss here. Decided to do a little video. I haven't really done one in a while. Thought I'd pop something up. Just got some interesting news. I mean, I was kind of, I hadn't, it was interesting. I just wanted to put something out to talk about it. So it appears that, Hasbro did actually go after Zeta. And maybe probably threw a threat at them. We're gonna sue you. We're gonna, whatever. Blah, 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 the big bully speech, right? And apparently, from what I'm understanding, Hasbro apparently has been doing it over the years on occasion to other third-party companies. And this is kind of weird because I wanted to address this by saying this goes against what I've thought for a long time, which was I always thought Hasbro was too big to pay attention to third-party companies, but I was wrong. A lot of us were wrong, apparently. I remember I've always been told by all the Hasbro loyalists, and because I would always say, well, if Hasbro, Hasbro doesn't care about these guys, and they'd say, well, Hasbro doesn't care about them because they're just too small anyway. They're insignificant. Who cares? Well, let me tell you something, guys. I mean, I know all you Hasbro big, I know you're a big dog Hasbro loyalist, and you don't want to hear this, but listen, this is the truth. If Hasbro's going after them and threatening them in some way, that means Hasbro's bothered by this, okay? That means multi-billion dollar company Hasbro is bothered by these guys, okay? And is, in fact, concerned about them. I mean, people don't want to admit that. People want to think, oh, well, it's no big deal. They are not, they're not going to affect Hasbro. Well, if Hasbro is doing this, that means they're affecting Hasbro. Now this Zeta thing could be because they're believing that Zeta directly affected their crowdfunding for the big giant Unicron, the big chug that they're trying to sell for a ton of money. Whatever. And I get it. Maybe that's what maybe they think Zeta affected that. And I think Zeta probably did, because I guess somebody told me, I read that somebody posted up that they lost some numbers when Zeta put out, I guess there was a pre-order that was going to be put out for it or whatever. This is big news. This is big news, and I'll tell you why it's big news, because it's the first time I think that we've actually big time know now, and we know it's a fact that it's happened now, because somebody has gotten a hold of information where somebody from Zeta actually said it and translated some stuff and from another language, but we know that this means that a third party company, like I basically means that the dog has stopped to scratch the flea. That's what it means, basically. Or maybe the flea is a little bit bigger, a little bit badder than people think. I don't know. People automatically think I'm trying to. I'm not gonna say Hasbro is right or wrong on this. I'm not saying that. I am saying it's a bit of a shocking turn. It's different from what we've gotten in the past with Hasbro. For years, I feel like Hasbro just kind of like ignored third party. They were there, they're there, but whatever. They don't affect us, and they shouldn't, because Hasbro makes the bulk of their money on the junk that they make for kids. Let's be honest. I mean, the stuff that they actually make for the collectors, I'm sure they make decent money on it. They should, because they charge enough for it. Takara and all that stuff. I mean, that's big money, and any masterpieces that Hasbro puts out, which I don't know, they haven't done it for a while, but but most of the stuff they put out, that's what they make. That is the Chug stuff, and Chug is what they make their money off of. We know that. And normal Marvel Legends, Black Series, all these things, these are what they're making money off of. I remember I learned something a couple weeks ago. I thought little kids were not into Black Series figures. I thought Black Series figures were mainly an adult, just an adult kind of mainstay. But I was wrong. I met quite a few kids who are very much into the Black Series stuff, and I was blown away by that. I was like, get the hell out of here. So, sometimes you have opinions and they're wrong, and you just don't, and I mean, it happens. I guess there's plenty of little kids, maybe there are plenty of little kids out there that are into Black Series. And, and it's not just all adult collectors. I mean, I thought it was for the most part, adult collectors that like them. So, So that would make sense. That would mean that Hasbro's making money more so off of, you know, making stuff for kids too. So, which they should. It's a toy company, right? I get that, but I'm not trying to insult them. I'm just saying that this means something though for us collectors for us to collect stuff that is a higher end figures, higher end product. This means something. This is a bigger deal because if Hasbro does start to target third-party companies, it could mean that a lot of our resources for getting stuff that Hasbro's never going to make, okay, could be in jeopardy. And I'm a little concerned about it. I always kind of knew that this day could come, but I always felt like Hasbro was too cocky and arrogant to want to ever admit that third-party companies mean anything to them. But they clearly do. They clearly do. Hasbro wants all that money. People say, "Oh, they only and I know it's easy to say, well, third-party companies only do a run of about 1,000 or 1,500 figures or of a figure." But you understand that's still a piece of market. Hasbro wants all the market. They don't care what little it is. They want it all. That's their thing. That's their baby. You know, they want it. And you know. And by the way, for those people out there, I'm not going to go into. I've read a lot about this stuff. I'm not going to regurgitate the stuff that I read in law books about it because I looked into it. I was curious, so I researched it myself. There is a difference between KO literally knocking off something that has been done by Takara or Hasbro and spitting it out and making it something that you're. KO companies tend to do to thrive on the fact that they cause product confusion, whereas a third-party company is not causing product confusion. It is a different version of the character, so it's not the same as a KO company. The law is kind of fuzzy on it. Hasbro would have to really prove that that what they're doing is causing product confusion. I'm not a lawyer. Robert D could probably explain it better, but Robert D is done with explaining it. What he told me, he got so tired of talking about it, and I don't blame him. You know, but it's research it yourself. It's very interesting. It's not so black and white. Let's put it that way. And Hasbro would have a hard time if one of these companies stood up to them in court. The problem is, a lot of these companies don't have the money to stand up to them in court, and Hasbro knows that. So big bully Hasbro is going to say, we're going to overprice lawyers on you, and you're done. So, whatever. That's pretty much the bottom line of it all. But I will tell you that it is concerning. It's concerning, and at the same time, it makes me laugh. I love to see that a third-party company has Hasbro's panties in a bunch. And people can say all they want. Oh, all Hasbro's doing is protecting their product. No, let me tell you something. If Hasbro's threatening, you know, with lawsuits and stuff like that, that means they're bothered by this. Make no bones about it. It costs Hasbro money. Hasbro is not a company that likes to waste money on anything. Nothing. So trust me, if they're taking the time to have their overpriced lawyers send letters of stop, cease and desist, you know, or just a threatening letter overall, it means that this is meaning something to Hasbro. Hasbro is paying attention, and you know, you'd think they'd be paying attention enough to maybe make us a better product. You know, how about take some cues from third-party companies? Well, whatever. That's neither here nor there. We'll get into that another time, I guess. But this is a big deal. It's a big deal. I want people to be. I'm nervous. I ain't gonna believe for the first time in the years since I've gotten into like collecting third-party stuff and being into their stuff, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I'm worried a little bit. I know I probably shouldn't, because their third-party companies will always find a way to be around. Whether they have to be more underground or more, you know, or whatever. They were back in the day, they were a lot more underground than they are now, I think. So they can always go back to being where they're fly-by-night if they need to be. So I know there will always be the ability to get their products. There are always avenues to go about it. But I like it being a little more available, and I'm a little concerned that Hasbro is going to try to shut down these available places to purchase said product, and also maybe go after the creators as well, and of these great pieces, you know. So I'm nervous about it. I mean, I probably not to be. I'm not too nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm not like, oh my god, freaking out. I'm biting my nails or nothing like that. I just think this means something, and we should pay attention to it. Big bad Hasbro, you know, stopped for a minute and said, we need to address this because this is bothering us. And if anyone thinks that doesn't mean anything, you better think twice. It's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal. So you know, that's it reminds me of like Bandai. Bandai eventually went after all the KO the KO Gundam guys a lot, you know. A lot of the factory they had a lot of stuff, a lot of KO products seized by the police. You know, so some of these companies they realize that this stuff is, you know, that stuff's taking up enough of their market away from them, and they want all the money. Believe me, like I said this earlier, they want all the money. There's no you know, there's no room for, oh, we can let them get away because they only take up about 2% of the market. No. They want that 2% too. Don't get them confused. They want that money. And if you didn't pay for, and their belief is if you didn't pay for a license to do our product, we're going to come after you, you know? And like I said, that's a little crazy too, what licensing entails you to make and things like that. It's wild. So it's all kinds of, if anyone wants to research it, it's crazy reading. It's a little bit boring. It's a lot of legalese. And when I was reading up on it, I was like, ugh, this is trash. I don't understand. I have a lot of respect for Robert D. and other lawyers. Do you have to like memorize that crazy shit? It's a lot of nutty stuff. But just be aware that we could be at the beginning we really could be at the very beginning of seeing the third party companies being, you know, going away or going back into the deeper into underground obscurity. So we got to be prepared you know, like I said. I don't know if this is a one-time thing where Hasbro's really going after him because it was the crowdfunding thing and they feel like they affected it. Personally, I think what affected the crowdfunding thing is the fact that Hasbro is asking people to have faith in him and give them $575. You know, that's a little, but you know, that's just my opinion. Not, you know, if like I said, if anyone who win on nothing, good for you. I hope it gets funded. All right. You know, good. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and say, hey, you know, I said, I'm a little uneasy about it, but, we'll see what happens. The future will tell. We'll find out. You know, I don't think third-party companies will ever totally go away. I think there'll always be someone who's going to make something that's better than what Hasbro makes or Takara makes. That's simple, you know, at a better price. So, but, you know, but I do think that it might be that they're going to hide a little bit better down the road. So, get ready. We're probably going to have to be, you know, go back to the times of like back in 2014 and 2015 where it was a little tougher to find third-party stuff sometimes, and you had to kind of dig around to find third-party news a lot more, and you know, so be ready for it, guys. Just be prepared. All right, this is Rusty Muss here, saying, have a great day, and to all my peeps up at RetroCon, I'm glad you guys had a good time. I saw some pics, love it, looks great. Saw Chuck dancing, it's really awesome. Glad you guys had fun up there. Yeah, everyone be safe on the travels. You know, much respect to the ROC. Love you guys. You know, check out all the cool shows on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. You know, check everything. You know, one on Friday especially. You know, best show ever. You know, Cool Table Network. Love you guys out there too. Lots of good stuff to you know, listen to and watch. Let's just shout out to everyone. You guys have a great day, and see ya.